Hi guys, it's Chantale from my Page Cafe. How are you all doing? I'm just grabbing my tea here, just over here. I will show you guys how to bind. Now, this is probably one of the kind of trickiest part of this accordion style type journal because, well, as much as I'd like to say it's super simple, well, it is. You just have to, sorry guys if I shook that. What you need to do, I'm just going to put my needle over here, is, especially if you're a beginner or just be patient because it takes a little bit more time, because what I have done, I'll show you guys the side, all the ruffles. So this is one side, all the pretty ruffles, and then this is the other side. So what I've done is I have pinned every signature like one way or another so they don't move too much. Another thing you could do is see how I've done it like this. I'm probably I'm not even sure if I'm going to use it, but anyways, another thing you could do is just do one signature at a time. So you know how we had every bundle kind of like this at the beginning? I think it was the second video that I did where I was showing you guys, like when we were picking papers, we had them like this, like in bundles. You could do the same thing. Here, I'll show you what I mean. I'm just going to take this one off. And don't panic if it comes apart and you're like, oh, it moved. So if you've ever bound signatures before, there are plenty of videos too on how to do that. Oh, my tea is hot. That's good. But I will try to show you like how I do it. I'm just going to make a very simple 3-hole punch. Because it's fabric, it's going to be very easy to sew through that because it's not thick. You just pretty much need just your holes in your signature, and the rest with your needle you can easily go through that. So what you could do, another thing you could do, is clip your actual like signatures separately. Okay, you can clip them or use a big paper clip or a small one, doesn't matter. You just want all of them to kind of be holding. You want them pushed in like this as far in as you can, and you want them clipped. If you're new at binding, you might want to clip both sides. Just a paper clip is fine. You can use those little binder clips as well if you want, just as long as they're like holding on the whole thing. Now, what you could do is have them like this, and then just put them like, do this side and do all your signatures like in a row. Like you would take your next one and hold it, put it like this, like in one piece, so that you only have to bind one at a time instead of being stuck with the rest of them attached to your cover, right? Do you understand what I mean? So what you would do is have them all kind of piled separate, like on their own. Like this is the first one, and I go like this. The second one would be this one. Yeah, I'm just going to take it off and I'll show you guys what I mean. Just so you're not fumbling, I guess. This one looks a lot thicker, but what you would do, take your little paper clips, clip them together, push your signature in, and then that would be like your second signature, right? Like this. And then you would use your third one. This one's coming out. Oh, that's why I pinned the bottom too. And what I did when I did this is I pinned one side. Maybe this will be easier. Let's try this out. We're going to attempt to do it this way instead of having them all clipped in, right? So you've got, depending on how many you did, we've got a total of, I think, 7 signatures. Oh, there's a paper clip. And before I bind them, I'll check to make sure it's in the middle. And then I just, you know, put it like that. And then you go to the next one. Right? You know what I'm saying? So you just turn it. Oh, I just unclipped the one behind me. Behind. See, that way you're not worried about the ones behind coming out. Like in the back ones. So then you would take this guy. Kind of line it up. Paper clip it. Or bulldog, whatever. Or clip. Doesn't matter. Just using paper clips just to show you that you don't need these little guys to do it. Paper clips are just fine. So this is your first, this would be like your one side, right? So then what you could do is just put it to the side or even tie it up with an elastic, wherever my elastics are. I'm not sure. Oh, right here. Like this, and this would be your one side. Right? So they're kind of holding together. So now you got them in order. Your first, your second, your third, right? So then you put this guy to the side and then you do the same thing for the other side, right? So this would be the first one. I'm not too sure why some signatures feel like there's more papers. So I'm grabbing them. I'm like, this one seems like there's less pages. And then you do your next one. Okay. This one seems to have more blue on the signature. And that's another thing you can look over too, is if you like the colors or if you want to change anything up, because you can still move these around because they're not stitched, right? And then there's your second one. And this back one only has 3. So that's a good way of knowing what side goes with which bundle. This one feels really like there's barely any pages. But so there's your 3 on this side, right? Because I did a 7. So there's your cover, right? So this, you just look at it like this, and you've got 1, 2, 3. So you know it's on this side. And then if you turn it around, you look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So then we just start. So these 3, I'm just going to put an elastic around them again. If you don't have an elastic, just put it to the side. You can even put them in a box or a plastic bin or whatever. It's up to you. So there's your second. So there's my 2 bundles, you guys. They're pretty cute, even like this. Okay, so my second bundle, I'm going to put it to the side here. And I know that it goes front to back, right? This one is the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 signatures, okay? So then you find your cover and you go on the side that has the 4. I've got threads everywhere. 4 like spots, right? So then you go to your first one. So what you would, this is how I usually bind. I tend to put my oh my goodness, I'm having a brain fart. My spine towards me, like this is technically the cover, right? Yes, it is an accordion, so there's more than, so you just, your next one would be in here, right? So this is your spine where you want to sew. Now, since I didn't do the front cover or I didn't decorate any of these, I think it'll be easier to just do it this way and then add the decorations after. Okay, so we'll do the first one. So just keep them all bundled up still and just take your first one. So now you know that this one's the next one, right? On top. So they're already like ready to go. So you literally grab the cover and just line it up according to the top and the bottom. So they're kind of in the middle. And at this point, you could clip it in so it doesn't move, or you could just grab, here, we'll just clip it with a new paper clip. Okay, so I've got it about in the middle. See, there's about the same amount of space here, here and there. And I'm just eyeballing it, you guys, so don't stress over it. And I try to push it in the middle of this. And then I'm going to get another paper clip. And it's like, it felt like it was going to fall out of my hands. So I kind of look at it, make sure it's sort of in the middle here of my fabric spine, right? And then I check the ends here again. And now I'm going to clip this other side. So this is the bottom, right? And then another thing you want to check, because things happen, you get busy, or you might put this down and then sew it later. Check your papers. Make sure they're the right way, right? If I went and sewed it the opposite way, it would be upside down. Make sure that the cover, when you sew it in, that it's not the opposite way, right? Your butterflies are the right way, for example. So just make sure it's the writing's the right way, right? Or your pictures or whatever that you're putting in, because I was looking through them when I was finishing up the ruffles, and I noticed some of my pages were upside down. So I'm just looking inside here just to make sure that they're not. Just checking real quick. Little peek, because it wouldn't be any fun to have them upside down in your book. This one I don't see. Now I gotta check now for sure, because this guy looks like it's up. Might be. I can't see the number. There's a number on this ledger. Where are you? Now I'm just gonna be taking it completely apart where I'm going. Oh, there's the number. I just wanted to make sure, because now I was thinking about, oh my goodness, what happens if it's upside down, right? Okay, just gonna take the big guy and just clip it. Now it might move a little bit, but don't stress, okay? So you need an awl and some kind of thread. You can use embroidery thread. I've got this wax linen thread that wax linen thread, I think. Anyways, it's already waxed. You don't necessarily need to have it waxed, but you can also use embroidery thread. It's completely up to you. I've used, it's whatever. You just want a decent thickness. You don't want it to be too thin. You could use like sewing thread too. You just need maybe a couple layers. Okay, so I'm just going to do a couple on the video because, well, we'll see how the time goes. So the first thing I do is I'm in the middle, right? Find the middle approximately, okay? And then I poke right through. And then I go to the bottom, and how I measure is I literally use my thumb. I go to the knuckle part and I go to the bottom of my papers, and then I put the third hole like right there. And I just turn my signature around, and I do the same thing with my thumb. Knuckle, paper, hole. Oh. It's like a little butterfly, like tiny little moth that just went across. I don't even know. I think it likes the light. Anyways, so now you've got your 3 holes. So that's a 3-hole punch, right? Now I'm just gonna grab my needle. You don't need a huge needle. Like, you don't even need it to be pokey at the end. I've got a bunch of little needles there. So what I do now, you can measure it if you want, you know, how long you feel you need, but I don't, because I tend to waste thread. Sorry, I'm having issues with my seeing the hole of the needle because I'm on camera, right? Oh my goodness, what is going on here? Okay. So thread your needle and then you just bind it. So you start from the middle. It's only a 3-hole, right? Now you might not be able to see the hole on this end or that end, but you can always just go kind of like that. And see how I've got my fingernail right there so I can find it. And then the top, you go all the way to the top and then back to the middle. That's how I do a 3-hole punch. Just trying to get the, and then go back to the middle. Now this is a pretty standard binding. It's very simple. You don't need any more than that. And that's it. See, you can see how long that is. You can make it shorter if you want, depending on if you want to add little beads, you can. So I'm gonna just make it that length. And then what I do is I put one thread on both, like one on one side, one on the other side, like that. And then I just tighten. I just pull this way and then pull the other way, and then I knot it twice. One that way and then one the other way, like that, right? So your first signature is sewn in, and that's that. So now you can move to the second one. Now we're just going to stay on the one side, right? So we're just going to go to the next spot, right? So that would be another thing you can do as well if you don't want this, because it will be flappy at the end. You can clip these to kind of hold it from flapping and being in your way while you're trying to bind. So then you take your second one and just repeat the same thing. And this one feels like super. I've got more papers. I possibly do, but that's okay. So then you find your spine, and again, it might be a little heavier from the front because you've already got one bound, right? I don't know why I took that out. Just trying to grab. Pin that one. And then, like, I see it's a little higher here. I'll bring it down. I usually don't pin the bottom, but just because I'm doing a video, I'm trying to show you what's easiest. Now, with your awl this time, make sure you're not catching this back one, right? So again, try to find the middle, which is about here. Goodness gracious. Like that. And then again, use my thumb, make it, kind of put it in the middle there, keep moving it. So that's why it's good to pin both ends, right? Because you kind of want them even. And then knuckle, right? And if you're always using this same method, it should be pretty even. Shouldn't change too much. Like when you look at the back side of all of them sewn in. Okay, now I'm going to get my needle and do it all over again. So that's pretty much what we're going to be doing. So put the middle, right? That and the bottom, and then go to the top. You could go from top to bottom too, whichever. Doesn't, it really doesn't make a difference, I don't think. I didn't get enough thread. And then go back in the middle. Sorry if I put my head in this. Oh. There we go. And then what's it stuck on? Okay, so then one side and the other side, right? And then you can decide, that's probably long enough. You can always trim these later, or if you want them shorter, you can definitely make them shorter. It's completely up to you. Okay, so then again, I tug them one way, then the other way, and then double knotted, okay? And the other way. Why is this? I feel like it's caught on something. Like this part here is not very, so I'm just going to take this apart and tighten it again a second time, because see how that's loose? It shouldn't be that loose. And I'm just going to check. Sometimes they'll get caught in each other. See, like this? You don't want that to happen, because then you can't tighten it properly. So you got to pull the one out. Okay. Knew there was something up. I just felt it. And another thing you can do is push the needle like this way. Right? Then you got your eye of your needle right there, and you just have to put your and then make sure it's not attached to this guy. Yep, we're good. Then just pull it back out. Now we can probably tighten it. Yeah, I can feel the difference already. I just was thinking it doesn't feel right. And you'll notice that the more you bind, the more you'll notice those little things. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm going to do all one side, and then I'll do the back side. Okay, so there's, and then I'm just taking these paper clips off, and then I'm moving to the next one. That's it, you guys. So there's 2 bound. Do the next one. And you can also stretch them out like that. I'll try it this way. Put it in the middle. Your paper clip. Set that one. And then do that way. And then I just go, make sure that it's kind of in the middle. Push a little bit this way. And then I find the middle again, which is about there. Right through. And then again, I use my knuckle to the top of my thumb, and then flip it. Okay. Thread again. So it's just repetition from this part. I know what the last video I mentioned, or my last post, I think it was, I mentioned that I was probably not going to be posting this until Monday, but I had a little bit of time today, so I figured I'd do it so that way you guys could have this part. And then the next part is decorating. So really, then you got your book bound, and then you can decide if you want to start decorating right away, and then I'll show you guys different little things that I'm going to be doing. And at that point, now it's bound and you can decorate it whichever way you want, right? Just checking here, make sure that this is not caught on anything. There's probably plenty. Okay. One underneath the other, like so, and then tighten this way, and then the 2 knots. You don't, with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, you don't really need to tighten it that much, because it tightens pretty easy, unless it's like caught like my other one was. So then I just take these, but you see how they're like almost small little journals, right? It gets a little tricky, not because it's hard, but because it's an accordion, right? So to get the next one stitched in. So then you just fold, and then, you know, this is the back, right? So it would be here, the last one for this side. And then I'll just find the middle, right? Middle is about there. And then I go thumb, just about there. And then my thumb again. Okay. Needle and thread. All right, start in the middle, go at the bottom. Top. And then back in the middle again. I don't know why I was whispering there, but I was. Okay, and then put the needle back over here. On top of the other, a quick tug, double knots. Like that. Keep the clips up. And now we get to do the back. Now, because see how it's getting put together? Because it's kind of flippity floppy, the back is a little trickier, but not really that much. Okay, but it will sit like a circle almost, right? So now there's the back. So we start this side, right? So our signature will be in this one, right? In the middle one. See, this one's already bound. That's how you know where to bind it, right? There's your other signature that was bound, and there's the other one, right? So we want to bind in this one. So here's my signatures, my other bundle. Again, it's a little trickier just because it's kind of like flippity flopper, but just take your time and you've got it. So you want it kind of in the middle of that fabric, and then hold it. And then clip. What's going on here? Oops. And then get the other side. Like that. Make sure we got it the right way. Yep. Okay, now same thing, find the middle. Just about there. Don't poke your fingers, which I just did. I mean, I've found so many journals you would think that I would know by now, but you know, it's just the way that it works. Okay, so then again, thread, needle, okay, middle again, and then sorry, I'm going to try to show you guys. Oh, see how it like is more on the one side? I'm going to kind of move it more in the middle. So taking my thread out, because it's fabric, it's not gonna, I just want it kind of more in the middle of the fabric, but that's like up to you, right? So I'm just going to move it. There you go. That's more the middle. See the middle of the fabric here? It was like right on the edge of that cardstock, and I wanted it more in the middle. There's the whole of the next one. Ow. As I was saying, I just poked my finger underneath. And then go up all the way. See, this time I went to the top. It really doesn't matter. I think the other one I was going bottom up, but it really doesn't matter. Just as long as you start in the middle and you finish in the middle. Ow. That was pokey. Might be caught in the other one. Let's see here. Is caught, but I'm going to see if I can't pull it through the other way. Sometimes you can pull the one, and if you can get it just right, you can pull them, separate them. Okay, perfect. Then I'm just checking, because I really don't need it that much longer than that. Let's not lose the needle. So again, tighten it. Double knot it. Okay, so we'll just take this out and then go to the next one. To the next one. We only have 2 more to go, you guys. Yay! Okay, so the next one would be right here, right? So, and we are doing it this way, right? So we're gonna have, and I'm just going to find the middle here, right? Clip it. Check the other side. Right there. Another thing you could do is clip this side. Doesn't really matter which side. So check the middle. Make sure it's in the right spot. You could even clip all 4 if you wanted to, if you're worried that it might move. And then I always check the ends. I also check if it's the right way for writing, right? Like the text and the pictures. Find the middle, which is about, oops, there. Try not to squish the paper too much. And then again, thumb, right? So we go up there, and then there, I think. Yeah. Okay, so now your thread. Whatever thread you're using. So hopefully this is not too boring because I left it at regular speed, and I might fast forward this part up. I'm not sure yet. So make sure you're not getting caught in the other one underneath. There's the first one, and I wanted to check what it looked like underneath. Now this is the tricky part, right? It's just kind of, oh, I squished the paper. Let's not do that. Okay, so it's right there. There you go. I can feel it underneath, so I know it's going in the right spot. And then go across. Usually you can pretty much, I could feel that with my my needle. So that's why I didn't look on the other side, but I need more thread, so I'll just pull it. Because it's a 3-hole punch, it's very easy to get your thread longer. Just pull a bit. And then back in the middle, and then we'll turn it. It should be in the right spot. So hopefully not squish these poor papers. Sorry. Okay, then you put one side on one side, one thread on one side, and I just pull on this one. Oh, it's caught again. And then I can actually, okay. Good. Or not. You don't want to tighten too hard because you don't want to pull too hard and then rip your paper, but you want it tight enough that it folds. Okay, so last one, you guys. Yay! Last signature. Okay, so the next one, see, we've got a signature sewn here, so that's the back one, right? And your last one goes right there. I'm trying not to squish the paper. So what I'm going to do is actually turn it around like that, so that way we're not affected by those. But remember, it's upside, it's the other way, right? So we want our signature to go in this way. The last one, right? Just look at the images, and that's how I kind of look at it, right? But it's a little easier because I only have the one signature they send, right, to work with. Okay, so find the middle again. Okay. Then okay, this side, and make sure it's kind of in the middle. It's pretty close. And then again, all the middle is about there. Sorry, birdie. Sorry if I put my head in the frame, you guys. And there you go. I kind of just do approximately usually. Oops, put a hole in my table. Okay, so now thread, excuse me, like a tickle. Put this guy like this in the middle. Top or bottom, doesn't matter. I'm just gonna go on the bottom one. And then you can see the hole right there, right? Pretty easy to see on that side. Pushed a little hard. Okay, and I'll pull a little bit of thread. And then there's that one. Okay, and then there's the middle again. Are you excited? We're done. And then I'll flip this guy back. Try not to squish the paper. And then I'm just going to check. Yeah, it's stuck in it. I tend to always catch it. I don't know why, but I do get caught in it. It's easy enough to get it out. As you can see. Okay, so then I check the length. Look at that. Don't need that anymore. All away. Thread away. And then last signature. Tight. And then double knot. And of course, because it's the last one, I don't know what I did with that knot, but anyways. Okay, so now put all these paper clips away, and I'm going to show you what it looks like once it's bound. Now at this point, it's up to you how you decorate it. I will show you how I decorate a couple pages, give you different ideas of what to do, and then you literally, so this would be like the front or whatever, and this is the back, right? Or the front of the other side. So what you do is you literally just whoop, like that, and there you go. Oops, I caught that one. So there's your journal. There's one side and there's the other side. How fun is that? Now it is chunky already and I didn't even decorate it. So this one will definitely need some kind of closure, as it's, you can tell it's like huge. Huge. So there you go. Bringing down, and I hope you enjoyed this process and it wasn't too repetitive. There's a lot of repetition in this one, and I hope you guys are all well, and let me know if you try it out, you guys, and we are going to be decorating it next. All right, I hope you guys are well, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.